This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of Phatts TV, sanctioned by PA Phatts and the non-genetically proven son. Any and all words have been authorized during the show. There is nothing off limits. Nobody is restricted from watching and participating in the show. It is a free-for-all. Commencing at the siren, any and all discussions will be legal for an extended period of time. Sports, politics, and any and all controversial topics will be talked about. You have been warned. May God be with us all.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Phatts TV on this Tuesday night, November the 29th, 2022. Joining me, as always, from the studios of Phatts Studio B, the one, the only, the non-genetically proven son.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going, I guess.
It's going, you guess.
I ate dinner before the show for once.
There you go. So did I. Did you wish some people in your family a happy birthday today?
No.
Oh, you might want to take care of that. There's a couple birthdays today in your family.
I saw it this morning and I kind of just forgot about it.
Yeah.
I saw it at like 5:30 this morning when I got up.
Yeah.
And then I got ready and I just kind of forgot about it. So,
Yeah. So, the main two topics that we talk about on this show, Tuesday nights are supposed to be a political night. Friday night is supposed to be a sports night. So we're going to start tonight with a combination of the two.
Yeah.
There was a soccer match today.
Football
Between two political rivals, the U.S. and Iran. Yes.
Iran. I don't care how you freaking say it. Iran.
And Iran. Iran so far
Iran
away.
Is a political rival. They want to kill us.
Well, their leaders do.
Their leaders want to bomb the smithereens out of us.
Yes. Because we support Israel.
Yeah.
We're the great Satan and they're Satan Jr. According to them. So, it's irrelevant on the show tonight about who won the game. I mean, you've all probably know who won the game. We'll talk about that on Friday's show. But I want to talk about the political ramifications of the game. There's a lot of strife, for lack of a better word, going on in Iran right now.
Well, hopefully all the soccer players don't get killed.
Yeah.
Because they win.
Put your mic a little closer to you.
How's that?
There you go.
I was thinking about when Qatar lost. I was like, oh boy. Hopefully they are still alive next week.
Well, the problem is with Iran, they staged a little bit of a protest during game one. They didn't sing their national anthem when it was being played. And basically after that, the government said, you do shit like that again, we're not only going to torture you, we're going to torture your families. Apparently. The shit you hear from our government, you never know what's true and what's not true.
Right.
So apparently that's what was said.
Maybe that's what our government should say to people who feel like kneeling during the national anthem.
Well, but we have a constitutional right of freedom of expression.
I don't care. I really do not care on the national level. If you're representing the U.S., you do not kneel. I don't care if you do it for your club sport. If you're representing the U.S. and you want to kneel, you don't need to be there.
I would, on the surface, agree with you. Hello, Kiana. On the surface, I would agree with you, but the government can't say that.
Yeah, I know the government can't.
So, yeah, there's been a lot of, strife going on in Iran right now due to mostly women's rights issues. Women are oppressed over there, just like they are in most of the Arab world, which is a bad thing, obviously. Obviously. In some Arab countries, they're not allowed to go to school. That's bad. That's bad. I mean, although I wish there was some American people that weren't allowed to go to school either with the people that are teaching them these days. I watched a video this afternoon of a lady who teaches college who basically said, everybody who takes my class gets an A. Automatic. It's automatically. They're told that the first week of class. You have an A in this course. No homework, no tests.
Thanks for saying hi to me. Well, I actually didn't have the stream up on my monitor yet, so I didn't see it.
No homework, no tests. Automatically get an A. And of course, the woman had like blue hair, of course.
I've had a class like that where you just showed up and got an A. Well, that was all high school, basically. Show up and at least get a B.
I mean, that's not right. That's not right. I mean, between what's going on in Iran and what's going on in China, with
it might be a good thing.
With their COVID lockdowns right now, it is not a good thing.
Well, I mean the protesting.
Well, the protests are a good thing. What the government is doing, again, if you guys follow the news, apparently there was a fire in an apartment building and 10 people died because the government, to make sure people isolate during COVID, welded their doors shut.
Yeah, they're going for like a COVID zero kind of thing. So
yes.
Like, pretty much you'll die if you leave your house.
Yes.
But you're just going to have to live with it. I think the majority of the world has come to the consensus, we're just going to live with it.
Yes.
Especially Europe. Parts of the U.S., California, I think they still wear diapers.
Well, there's people in our government that thinks we should put masks back on in the wintertime.
Why the wintertime?
Because that's when the spread happens the most.
Can you prove that to me?
Apparently they can.
Somebody sitting in the House of Representatives is not a scientist, sorry. They're as much of a scientist as I am a scientist.
You're not Dr. Non-Genetically Proven Son? No.
I mean, I'm as much of a doctor as apparently Dr. Fauci is. When he can just explore whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah. Yeah. So the other big news that's going on in this country right now is the potential of a rail strike this holiday season.
What is a rail strike?
That's when people strike the rails.
Well, that's not how we build railroad tracks anymore.
Do we even build railroad tracks anymore? No.
Might be some.
No. So, it's interesting. Grandpa Joe got involved a couple months ago and, brokered a temporary deal, truce, call it whatever you will, to avert the strike. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with the government getting involved, in my opinion, to help avert something, to get people to come to a consensus. I have no problem with that. But a couple of the unions said, no. Not good enough for us. So they're threatening to strike at the end of the week. Now, Grandpa Joe, who calls himself the most union-friendly president we've ever had,
which I find probably not true,
he could, if he wanted to, go to court and stop the strike, which would not be a favorable thing to the unions. And the union's biggest complaint isn't really about money. It's about, like, time off. That's their biggest complaint about what's outstanding. They want more of a benefits package. They want a better benefits package.
I want a better benefits package.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
Crap.
Don't we all? Oh, yeah, wait. You get free insurance.
Okay. I have to work 500 hours to get 1 day off.
Yeah, all right. That's not good.
I get 7 days off in my first year, but I don't just get 7 days. I have to earn each of those 7 days working. It's like 400 or 500 hours. It's ridiculous.
Well, you work 2,080 hours a year.
So it's like 4 something.
No, it wouldn't be 4 something.
It's 400.
It would be, well, 4 times, you just said 7 days off, would be 2,800.
Yeah. And how many hours have you worked?
2,080.
Oh. I don't know what it was.
So I'll let you go back and refigure what your benefits package is.
But I know you get 7 days and you have to work so many hours. I just want the 7 days.
Yeah.
Because, like, what if something comes up and I need a day off? Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
You didn't work enough hours yet.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Same with sick days. You get 3 hours of sick day for every month you work.
Yeah.
It's like, just give me the 5 sick days or whatever.
All right. Well, we're not here to talk about your company's benefits package.
It's probably worse than some of these other ones.
So the unions are saying, no, we're not accepting what you helped broker, Grandpa Joe. So Grandpa Joe now wants Congress to get involved. And believe it or not, and I didn't know this until last night when I did some research on it, Congress can basically pass a law that will not allow the railroad unions to strike. Well, they could pass a law that won't allow any union to strike.
So just don't show up to work. You don't have to stand there and strike.
So I find it very interesting that the Democrat-controlled Congress is going to side with business to avert the strike.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it? Seems a little bipartisan there.
It does. It does. It does. I'm falling on the side of the unions here. As long as their demands are not, like, way out of bounds, I say a strike is good. This is where my not so Republican side comes in to play.
So, me knowing you, you don't like unions.
Normally I don't. Because there was a time where unions were really good for this country because businesses would require their workers to work, 12, 14, 16-hour days for very little money. So unions were needed. Unions were absolutely needed, but then unions got too big, and the workers were forced to join unions and pay outrageous union dues for no help, and the people running the unions were the only ones that were getting rich. And then unions would fund political, people who were running for political office. They would help fund them.
You know what we call that? A monopoly.
Quid pro quo.
That's it.
Unions would help fund projects with their pension funds. Those of you may not know this, but a lot of casinos out in Vegas were built on the back of union pension funds. The unions would loan people the money out of the pension funds. So I said earlier, I like the idea that people are getting involved to help avert the strike. I don't like it now that Congress is going to get involved to prevent the strike. I don't like that. To me, that's government overreach. I know Congress has the power to do it. I fully understand that. I don't think they should have the power to do that. It kind of goes back to the early 80s when Reagan was president, when the air traffic controllers had a big strike. See, you don't know anything about this. You were not even born, so you have no idea about what I'm about to say.
Air traffic, I know that's a very stressful job.
The air traffic controllers struck, so basically planes couldn't fly.
Yeah.
So
very difficult.
So what did Reagan do? Reagan said, well, here's what's going to happen. Either you guys go back to work or I'm going to federalize every air traffic controller person. You will now have a government job, and then I'm going to fire you because I have that power. And that's what he did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He actually federalized
the people that would not go back to work, he made them federal employees and fired them. That's the power of our government. Biden doesn't want to do that because he's labor.
A little bit overreach as well.
Yeah.
Since the president isn't nearly on the same level as somebody making. I mean, they're still making 150. They make a lot, 150,000 a year.
Oh, it's more than that now. It's like I think it's 500 now.
At Atlanta, sure. Person at Reading ain't making 500,000 a year.
Oh, I thought you meant president of the United States.
Oh no, I'm talking about air traffic controllers.
Oh yeah. I don't know what they make. I have no idea.
They make a lot of money. It's a very stressful job.
Sure.
Especially L.A., Atlanta,
sure. Yeah.
Philly, big airports.
So tomorrow Congress is going to vote. It's going to pass in the House. There's actually some concern that it might not pass in the Senate. I will be interesting to see how many Democrats vote against this and for it, obviously. Because you're thinking if you're a Democrat, you shouldn't be for this. Yes, it's going to hurt the economy, but your bread and butter is your union folk. So this is going to be an interesting vote. I'm going to be following this. I will not report back to you because in a week I won't care. If you care, you follow it. So, the non-genetically proven son messaged me yesterday. He said Luzerne County did not certify their election results.
According to Twitter and Facebook, yes.
Why?
Because the vote counts were not right. Wasn't there more votes casted than people even registered or something like that?
I have no idea. I figured it was because what was happening with the voting machines up there.
I read, and they're still counting. That too, that was part of it. But I read something like the vote counts, there was more votes casted than people there.
That would not be good.
It's not possible. And they're still counting. It was a combination of a bunch of different things. But I just read that. I was like, oh, that's an interesting thing. If I see anything that can go into the show, I usually just message it to
you. Yeah. So for those of you watching the show that may not be from Pennsylvania or you don't know how voting in Pennsylvania works, if you vote in person, you show up to vote, you say your name, I give them my ID. You're not required to.
Interesting, because every time I've ever voted, they ask to see my ID.
They're not. The only time you are required in the state of Pennsylvania to show your ID is the first time you are voting at a new polling place.
Well.
So I can understand this time you were voting at a new polling place because you moved. Yeah. I can understand where they would have asked for you to see your ID or your voting card. You got a card in the mail.
My ID.
So that I could understand. So this year, where I voted, they switched it to electronic verification. So usually they have this big book, they find your name, you sign it, they match the signature. Well, this year, you signed like using your finger on an electronic keypad. And the lady said to me, she goes, well, that looks similar to your signature. Well, yeah, I mean, like, I'm signing it now, like, down at an angle. I'm not writing it on a piece of paper like I used to. The screen is, like, not down on the table. It's in the air at about a 45-degree angle from how I'm holding my finger. So do you think I'm going to get the same exact signature? No, probably not.
Hey, we had a book up here. Much as it probably is annoying to turn that book, it's probably the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Pen and paper.
Yeah. Yeah. So then they give you a number. They write down that number. That's how they know how many people came in to vote. If you get more votes than you have numbers, you have a problem. You have a major problem. And apparently, that's what the non-genetically proven son is saying has happened in Luzerne County.
Didn't they also run out of ballots up there, too?
They did. Well, they also had, they had issues with voting machines. They ran out of ballots, or they ran out of the papers for the ballots. Like, where you are, how does it work?
I went in.
Because Pennsylvania is not uniform. Every county could do something different in Pennsylvania.
So I went in, said my name. This is my first time there. Showed my ID. They handed me a paper ballot. Ripped off half ripped the number. Said just rip it off. That's yours. Filled it out, and then put it in like a little machine and sucked it in. And that was it.
Okay. So in the county I'm in, you're handed a blank sheet of paper. It's an oblong, it's like a rectangle sheet of paper with the corner, one of the corners like a triangle shape. You walk into the booth where you're going to vote, you put that piece of paper into the machine. You do your voting, you hit vote, the paper comes back out with your votes on it. You review it if you choose to, and then you walk over, put it in a machine, and you leave.
Yeah, we just had paper, fill in the dots.
Got it.
Nice and easy.
Got it. Yeah, you can't fuck that up.
It's really hard to.
Except if you don't fill out the dots right, then the optical scanner is not going to pick it up right.
Yeah, that's why I really make sure the dot is filled in completely.
Yes. So yes, there's some shenanigans that went on in Luzerne County. Luzerne County chose not to make their vote counting official. In Arizona, in Maricopa County, interesting, again, don't know if it's true. I saw a video last night when they went to certify their elections. One of the board members said he was told if he does not vote to certify, he would be arrested. I saw the video of him saying it. If he was truly told that, that is a form of intimidation, which is illegal in the United States. Obviously, you can't be arrested for voting to not certify elections if you feel strongly that something bad happened.
Right.
So, more of that to come in the future. There's going to be lawsuits out there. They can't file. There was a lawsuit already filed for the Attorney General's race because it's the difference is like 510 votes, if I heard correctly. So the loser filed a lawsuit. The judge throughout the lawsuit said it was premature. He can't file the lawsuit till after the election's been certified. By state law, he can't. So we'll have to see where that goes.
In the shithole.
Yeah. I just noticed you're not wearing your normal shirt tonight.
What's my normal shirt? Oh, my Macbeth hoodie.
Did it grow legs and walk away?
Oh, it's on the couch out there.
Growing legs and walking away.
I mean, it could be.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Still wearing black.
Yeah, that you are. That you are. So I wanted to end tonight, quick show tonight,
Let's see.
talking about Twitter.
Twitter.
I used to call it Twatter.
Well, it's not owned by Twitter Jack anymore.
Right. It's not owned by Twitter Jack or Twatter Jack
The
anymore.
person who owns Twitter now actually understands what free speech is.
Yes.
Did you get your Twitter back yet?
No, I was going to bring that up. I looked last night. My original Twitter account is still suspended.
How?
Elon said he's bringing them back. He said unless if you broke the law, you are going to get your accounts back. So I didn't get mine back yet. I looked last night. I certainly did not break any laws. Still don't know why I got suspended. Have no idea. No idea. I was told it was something with site manipulation. I was using multiple accounts. Well, I wasn't using multiple accounts. I had one account. So, no clue. So we'll see if I actually get it back. I don't really intend on using it if I get it back, but I do want the sites that I followed, because I followed a lot of sports and news sites. So I want to make a list of them so I can follow them on my, substitute Twitter account that I created. But what I wanted to first talk about Twitter, other than me not having my account back, is how Apple is threatening to remove them off of their app store.
I saw that, and I would be very disappointed because I use Twitter daily.
Yeah, they're threatening to remove them. I wonder why. Because they're not a liberal paradise anymore?
It's a free speech platform.
Right, free speech. Who would have known that such a thing exists in this country anymore?
Who knew that an elitist would be the one to do it?
Yes. Elon is going after a group of people. He is. He makes no bones about it. He wants to get child pornography off of Twitter. As it should. Now, I'll be the first to admit I've never seen child pornography on Twitter. I don't go around looking for pornography on Twitter.
Can't say I've never seen that either.
I go around looking at sports and news stories.
Wow, we have the same Twitter.
Like, I don't go around looking for porn. There was a big article on the Drudge Report. Porn takes over Twitter. Okay, I don't see it. I don't go looking for it. So it hasn't taken over my Twitter page.
Right.
You look at my followers, like I'm up to people I follow, I'm up to 300 and some, where on my old one I was at 2,000. That's why I've lost so many of them, because, I don't remember what they were. But, you look through everything I follow, you won't find one porn person, porn site, porn whatever. I mean, if I really want to look at porn, I got a lot of other places I could go to. I don't need to go to Twitter to look at porn. So yeah, he wants to take down child pornography, which is a great idea. There was a report today from Project Veritas. I didn't really want to talk about it tonight because I don't know enough about it yet, where they have a whistleblower from the government that says our federal and some state governments are in bed with child sex traffickers. That the government knows it's going on and is doing nothing to stop it. Well, you know what? I know a president who did try to stop it. You never heard about it on the news, but he sure as hell talked about it on Twitter. I wonder what president that was. Could his last name have been Trump?
Say the 45th?
45? He tried to stop it. He knows it's a problem. I mean, why do you think we've never seen anything about Jeffrey Epstein and his flight logs? Who went to his island? How come we still don't know? How come? Don't you think that that would be something that the government would want to stop?
Well, the big dogs went there.
I mean, think about it. Think. Wouldn't the government want to stop girls 13 and younger from being raped? Doesn't that make sense that that's something the government would want to stop? But apparently they know about it and they're okay with it. That's disgusting. That's literally fucking disgusting. Even if the girl is in her 20s, if she is being forcibly made to have sex, that's disgusting. If a guy in his 20s or teens or preteen or whatever is forcibly, being forced to have sex, that is disgusting. And I'm sure it happens with little boys to the frequency that it happens with little girls. It's disgusting. And the government should be doing something about it, but the government fucking doesn't. And now we have, supposedly, a whistleblower saying, yes, the government knows it's going on, and they don't care. I may have more about this next week, once I get to watch the videos. Didn't have time. I just found out about it at about 5:30 tonight. Yeah. Fucking disgusting, our government. If the government knows that this is going on, and of course it's going on, you have to be fucking blind, stupid, deaf, and dumb to know it's not going on. There is one Twitter page that I follow that talks about people who get really light criminal sentences for crimes that they commit. I don't know the name of it off the top of my head. Of the ones that I see there, when I do see that they post stuff, which is the one that most gets light sentences? Child pornography. There are people who send pornographic images of children in this country and they get a slap on the wrist. No jail time. Probation. Time served. I'm sorry, if you are sending sexually enhanced images of children, you deserve to go to jail for a long time, where you deserve to become Bubba's whore. Bubba would be the black guy in the jail's house.
Don't drop the soap.
If you are raping a child, you should probably be put to death, in my opinion. Where there is some countries that will do that to you. These authoritarian countries. Like, I'll guarantee you in Iran, North Korea, countries that are our enemies, if you're probably found raping, well, certain Muslim countries would actually allow it. It's pretty weird. It is pretty weird. But there are countries out there that you are died. You will dead. If you're a homosexual, you're put to death. Now, do I think homosexuals should be put to death? No, of course not. No. It's your life. You do with it as you please, as long as it's within the confines of the law with other adults.
Hey, that could bring in the man that was escorted out of the USA-Iran match because he had a rainbow thing on his
I told you they didn't escort him out. They gave him better seats.
That's not true.
How do you know?
They didn't get. Why would you go get a guy to give him better seats because he's purposely showing his rainbow armband?
Why throw the guy out?
It was a conversation I was having with somebody else, and I was saying it's just like when that WNBA person took weed to Russia.
Mm-hmm.
If in Qatar they don't allow homosexuals, you gotta follow that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really just because you're a U.S. citizen or in another country, you don't abide by U.S. law.
Mm-hmm.
you abide by Qatar law. And I don't know what Qatar's laws are, but I'm going to assume
I hope you don't.
I'm going to assume they're every other Arabic country. And they probably don't like homosexuals. So doing that, you're just an idiot.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he just likes rainbow armbands.
It's literally like taking weed into Russia and being like, oh, I'll be fine. Like, are you stupid? Who's apparently that girl's now in a work camp.
She is, apparently. They ain't trading her back for 2 packs of Luckies and a 6-pack of Bud Light, that's for sure. Whereas the other way around, the United States would do that.
Have fun in your work camp.
So, all that I'm saying is, to me, the comparisons don't compare. She brought an illegal substance into the country.
Right.
All this person was doing that supposedly got escorted out of the soccer match today was wear an armband that was rainbow colored. He didn't hold up a sign that said, I'm gay. At least to my knowledge.
If all we did was escort him out, I don't know. Maybe there's more to the story that they're not saying.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Because it's a U.S. Written article. Of course, they're gonna try to favor the U.S. guy. Maybe he might have been drunk, for all I know, and they're not allowing that.
Do homosexuals get drunk?
On wine, maybe. Certainly not beer. Or beer.
And as we speak up on the TV right now is a U.S. Army major who's dressed as a woman who's being indicted for trying to leak U.S. info to Russia. You wonder if that's true or if that's a setup to get this person out of the Army.
Speaking of Army, back to sports. The Army Navy uniforms are sick.
We could talk about that on Friday.
So cool.
You have to send me a picture of them so I could put them up. All right, well, if you have nothing else to talk about, 40 minutes flew by.
Yeah. Just be prepared for, I think this could be a longer show on Friday. We'll see.
It probably will be.
Because we're going to recap Penn State.
Yeah.
Season. The whole season.
Yep.
We're going to talk about the World Cup, all 8 knockout matches.
Yep.
We're going to talk about what we think the Big 6 bowls are going to be, who the playoffs are going to be.
Yep.
And then we'll talk about the crappy NFL.
So while you're at it, why don't you pull up the rankings right now for college football and let's just see where we're at. Georgia, Michigan, TCU, USC, and then who's 5 and 6? Ohio State, Alabama, or Alabama, Ohio State?
USC, Ohio State, Alabama, Tennessee, Penn State, Clemson, Kansas State.
Wait. Start at 1.
Georgia.
2.
Michigan.
3.
TCU.
4.
USC.
Okay, so like I said, 5.
Ohio State.
6.
Alabama.
Okay, so the top 6 is what I said it would be. 7.
Tennessee.
That's not right. 8.
Penn State.
Penn State should be 7.
I agree.
Yes. On a neutral field, Penn State, Tennessee would be a very interesting game.
If Hendon Booker is playing, Tennessee would win.
Tennessee did not lose to a 2 seed and a 5 seed like Penn State did.
Exactly.
But if the game was on a neutral field, Tennessee would be the favorite. I'm not going to say they would win, though.
By the way, I already disagree with these rankings. South Carolina's 19.
Who's number 9?
Clemson.
They should have fell further.
Yeah, they only fell 1 spot.
Who's number 10?
Kansas State.
Okay. So,
LSU fell 9.
we'll talk about Friday what Penn State has to do, what needs to happen for Penn State to make the Rose Bowl.
And how they can still make the playoffs.
Sure. Sure.
It's possible.
Sure.
There is a 0.1% chance.
I don't see how.
the biggest upsets in the history of football.
I mean, does Michigan got to lose by 120 to Purdue?
Yeah, kind of. Probably need Alabama to lose too, and they're not even.
And they're not even playing. Yeah.
And Ohio State.
LSU has to beat Georgia by 412.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we can talk about why maybe the number one team doesn't wear orange or black. But they might wear yellow.
Okay. Georgia Tech?
But more on that, Georgia Tech doesn't wear yellow.
They sure do.
They wear gold.
That's yellow, it's last I checked.
Are you colorblind?
They've had years where they've worn yellow as well.
Well, maybe the number one team in the world wears blue and white.
Why am I missing? Yeah, they look pretty good.
They are really good.
Actually, they got lucky to win last week.
And they have a five-star lineman coming to Penn State.
Yeah. Yep. Danville had a shot at a game-winning field goal and missed it. To beat.
Even though I think it's a left tackle, so that'll be interesting having two really good left tackles.
Well, one player could play another position for a year.
Right tackle.
If the freshman's good enough to start.
Oh,
All right. We'll talk about all this stuff on Friday.
Yay, sports!
On our sports edition of Phatts TV. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Yes, it's an abbreviated show because there's not really that much right now politically to talk about. And I just don't have really busy with work. So we don't really have as much time as we do to, learn about all this stuff. But so is our life. So Gates, as the Pennsylvania Dutch would say. All right, until Friday, have a safe, happy, healthy week. We will see you Friday at 7. Yes, your photographic schedule is going to allow us to do a Friday show at 7, or will it be a Saturday show at... No, it's not going to be a Saturday show, not with the U.S. playing soccer on Saturday. It's going to be a Friday show. See you Friday night at 7. We'll lead you into the Pac-12 championship game. See ya!